and happy Halloween. I know it is super early, but we are going to get on with these tutorials. I had this inspiration and I just went with it. So we're going to do this tutorial. This is going to be a complete voiceover because if I did it any other way, it would be way too long. So starting out with the first half of our face, we are going to do our eyebrow, just this one eyebrow, whichever side you want to do. I'm just doing my eyebrows with my usual Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I'm just putting this on my eyebrows and filling them in like usual. Then taking this NYX concealer palette, I'm just going to underline my eyebrows to make them look perfect because this is going to be the more glam side of the face. So I want to make sure, I want to do this side of the face basically like I normally would, just to make everything look good, perfect, glam, and amazing. Then I'm taking the MAC Painterly Paint Pot to give ourselves a good base, and I'm just putting that all over the eye. Then just taking any powder and a fluffy brush, I'm just going to set just in the crease, not on the eyelid because I want the eyelid to be kind of tacky still. And using the Jaclynhill palette and this shade here, which I believe is called Silk Cream, I'm putting that into the crease. All brushes and everything specifically will be left in the description box. So if you guys want to see everything listed, I will put everything in the description box, brushes included, and I will also do it in order so it's easy for you guys to kind of just click and look for what you want. This is Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear, and I'm just using that directly in the crease as like a transition shade and making sure to blend everything out really well, because obviously this is a black smoky eye. And then using Corrupt from Makeup Geek, I'm just starting to slowly blend that into the crease. I find that if you do it this way rather than just packing a lot on the lid, it blends easier. So I'm just starting by just blending some of that black in the crease. And then we are going to take a gel liner. Any gel liner will do. I'm using the Maybelline one. And I'm just going to put that on the lid to make sure that when we put the black eyeshadow on top, it is really, really black. So we can get it as dark as we possibly can, because that is what I want. I'm going for a very dramatic and dark black smoky eye. So here, as you guys can see, now that I have that base on, this is the actual eyeshadow I'm packing on over top, and it is really going on really dark. So you're just going to want to put that on the lid and then blend everything out as best as you can. I had to go in with this little brush here from Sigma just to kind of blend that black so that it didn't get really messy. And then I'm blending everything out along the edges one final time to make sure there's a smooth transition. And this is what the eye should look like so far. And then we're going to take some NYX glitter in Onyx, and we are going to pack that baby over the lid. Any kind of glitter glue will work perfectly to just make sure that that glitter is going to stay all night long. Then we're just going to curl our lashes. Put on some L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Blackest Black. And for lashes, I'm using the Eyelid Vegas Nay and Glamour, I think, something like that. Like I said, everything will be listed in the description box. Then moving on to the face, I am going to prime the entire face just so that everything kind of runs smoothly together. So I am priming the entire face just using this Maybelline Master Prime. Then going with oh my lord, going in with foundation, we are going to blend this on this half of the face. I'm not going over the entire face. I'm not blending it down all the way down my cheek because I know I'm not going down in that area, but I did put it on my forehead and the majority of my nose and like right under my eye, but I'm only going about halfway across the face. Then I'm taking concealer and I'm just going to put that underneath the eye to clean everything up. And then taking some powder, you just want to make sure that you set all of this, especially because it's Halloween. You're going to be out with your friends probably, or whatever you're doing. You just want to make sure that nothing is going to go anywhere throughout the night, and setting it with the powder ensures that it is not going to budge. Then taking just any kind of bronzer, I'm using the Cocoa Collection bronzer from Kylie Cosmetics. I'm just taking that and putting that where I would normally bronze. Then taking a contour shade, this is just Max Blunt. I'm just going to then just contour my cheekbones, and then of course we're still going to bake, and we are going to also contour the nose, just on this one side though. Then taking the Jaclynhill palette, I'm going to use Hunts and Jack's, and I'm just going to blend that underneath the eye. Then I'm just going to rim the eye with that black gel liner. Taking a very defined brush, we're just going to smudge some black shadow underneath the lash line, as close to the lash line as we can. Then using a pencil brush, we're going to blend that out so everything is super smoky and there are no harsh lines. And then we're going to put on some mascara on our lower lashes, and my dog is shaking her head in the background. Sorry about that. Then I'm going to wipe away the powder on my cheeks. I'm going to add some blush. This is MAC Dame. Then taking the Becca Liquid Illuminator in Opal, I'm just going to put that on my cheeks, and then use MAC Soft and Gentle to highlight. Then I'm also just going to use that on the brow bone and a tiny bit on the inner corner, which honestly I wish I didn't do, but whatever. Then using any white pencil that you have, you're just going to kind of carve out where you want the face to kind of break or crack, if you will. And if you kind of go over some of the foundation that you did, it's okay, because in a minute I'm going to wipe that away anyway. So just go where you want to go. I'm just kind of splitting halfway down my face and just kind of bringing it around under my contour on the side of the face that I did the Glam look. And you can just wipe away this white pencil very easily, which is why a white pencil is best to use. And like I said, if you kind of decided that you wanted to bring it up higher than where the foundation went, just kind of wipe whatever foundation away with a makeup wipe. Just kind of wipe away whatever you don't want that is below or across that white line. Then we're going to start with the other half of the face, the skull side. We're going to take the black gel liner and just rim the eyes really, really well. I'm just starting like this because this whole eye is about to be blacked out basically with eyeliner. So I'm just starting by rimming it and just kind of getting really, really close to the lash line, just lining the lash line as close as I can get it. And then we're going to start that shape. So just basically, you guys will see right here, I am looking down to look at a reference picture. Just do that every once in a while if you guys are going to do this, or just refer back to this video and just look really closely and just kind of follow the shape that you see. It doesn't have to be perfect, you guys, but I just basically, it's like a circle around your eye, but I'm just lining the circle first, or with the outline of it first, and then I will go in and fill it in. So here I am filling it in. I'm just using like a fluffy synthetic brush to fill it in, which just makes it easier and it goes a lot faster. And I am blending a little bit down here, but I do leave a little bit of a spot down there because we're going to highlight that later. Then I'm using this Bonnaroo white face paint to start the white on my face. I'm going to be 100% honest, you guys. I would not use this face paint again. I loved it last year, but personally this year, for what I was going for, I would suggest either a white cream product or like a white gel liner. I just think that that would work better because this is a water-based face paint that you can get at Michael's. When you try to apply anything wet over top later, which you guys will see, it doesn't work. It just kind of takes away all of that white face paint. So yeah, I'm basically just filling the white on, and then anywhere where I know is going to be black, I just kind of try to like leave blank and then carve out around it. So as you guys can see here, I just kind of looked and just carved out around it. If you guys want to do the black first and get all of that like cheekbone in there first, go for it. I just decided to do the white because I thought it would be easier. And then here I am carving out like the hollows of the cheeks and everything like that, starting with the temple and just filling all of that in. So just kind of creating the line with the black liner and then filling all of the space in. So here I'm just going like really slowly with a small brush and just kind of carving out where that really hollow part is, where like your teeth are going to start. And you can just take this slowly, but just basically carve that area out where you want it. And then what we're going to do is just kind of fill it in and bring it in, but don't bring it in too far. I'm not picking back up in any black. I'm just kind of blending it in and just kind of like fading it and doing like an ombre effect, just like that. And then we're also going to do this to the other side. Right where I cut that with the white line, I am just basically following that line to continue that shape on this side. And if you guys can see here, I'm really like just looking forward and trying to match this up as well as I can with the other side. I wanted to leave this part in so you guys could see that I am taking my time here and this isn't all going super fast. I mean, that I took 9 hours filming this, so if that says anything to you guys, this took a really long time. This wasn't something that was quick. I probably could have done it quicker if I wasn't filming, but it still would have taken a really long time. But just take your time with this and just like I said, just very constantly be referring back to your reference pictures or videos. So we are just doing the same thing on this side, like I said, trying to mimic the other side as best as possible, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, like I said, this is all for fun anyways. It's Halloween, but just take your time and yeah, just fill all of it in and just kind of ombre it out like we did on the other side. It's also better to not take this too far in. You could always bring it in further later. So now we're going to start on the mouth. What you're going to want to do is take a very small brush, smaller than this one. You guys will see in a minute what I did, but I take the black liner. I'm just kind of outlining where I want the teeth to sit. This is going to be like, you know, the smile line for the teeth. You're just going to bring it out and then you're going to fill in like the very inner part of your mouth. And then you're going to start by drawing the lines for the teeth. So you're going to basically go from the bottom of the nose is what I do, maybe a little bit lower, and just do a line right in the center of your mouth. And then I usually after that go right where my cupid's bow is and go down and just continue to do little lines all the way across. And I do bring this into the black because I think it ends up looking more natural in the end. Natural in the sense that it looks more like a real skull. And then I started to do this part. I actually did not like the way that this looked, so I took a makeup remover wipe and I removed it. I did not use a small enough brush for this, so I just want to show you guys that everyone makes mistakes. I wiped off a lot during this look and ended up having to redo it, but I just want to show you guys the teeth are very tricky and I wanted them perfect, but I definitely started out with too thick of a brush. So right here I just redid everything, and you guys can see I started out with a much smaller brush this time, and I'm really taking my time with this. You don't want the line to be too dark. In fact, you almost want it to be a little light, and just do the same thing. Just make your line down the center of your lips and then just continue to make straight lines down the lips, keeping the spacing of the teeth pretty even. And like I said, I am going to go into where the black actually starts in the cheek because you guys will see later on it makes it look realistic. You don't want to have like a blunt like line of like where your teeth stop. It just doesn't look the best. So I like to bring it up further into the black, even where you don't think you're going to be able to see it. Now what I'm doing is taking the exact same brush and the same black liner. I'm just going to create little squiggle wiggle lines right above where the lines are. So kind of like where the end of the line of the teeth starts, you're just going to kind of make like little squiggle lines going up, and they need to get lighter as you go up. And you're going to do this on the top and bottom teeth. This is like kind of where your teeth are growing out. They basically just kind of look like little like dead trees. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. Then here is where I think you guys can really start to see the teeth take place. You are going to start to like draw little upside down triangles basically, or regular triangles on the bottom of the teeth. You guys can see they are starting to curve, so they actually start to look like real teeth. You're basically just making little triangles along where all of the teeth, the bottom of the teeth meet, and you guys can really start seeing the shape of the teeth forming. This really is where you're going to start to see that skull teeth like look come together. You guys can start to see it looks amazing. And you are doing this on all of the top teeth, and we're going to do the exact same thing to the bottom. I'm just basically rounding out those teeth a little bit so they look more realistic, because teeth aren't square, if that makes sense. So you guys can see that by the time I got over here, the top teeth look basically amazing, and they look super realistic at this point. In the bottom teeth, you guys can see I'm just doing basically the same thing on the bottom, just doing like little upside down triangles where the teeth meet, and it almost like creates a diamond when you're done. But this definitely doesn't have to be perfect, because nobody's teeth are perfect. So if the teeth come out different sizes and shapes and everything like that, that's what you want, because it just creates a more realistic effect. So the more unperfect it is, it actually, the better it is, in my opinion. But you guys can see here now the teeth look really good. So here is where we're going to continue on with the teeth. We're just going to take a black shadow and a very small pencil brush and just start blending that black out a little bit. And then where we put those little like dead tree things, the roots of the teeth, basically, we're just going to kind of like blend that out with the black shadow and a very small brush. You guys can see on the right side here, it just looks very blended. You want to concentrate majority of the color right in that little triangle area, and then just really blend it down. You don't want to have much product on your brush at all. You want to keep all of this light, start out light, and then make it darker if you want to, but definitely don't start with too much product, or you will maybe end up with a mess on your hands. And you're just going to do that once again to the top and the bottom. And like I said, take everything into that black cheekbone part, because it's really going to make everything stay realistic. Then we're going to set this eyelid with the same matte black shadow that we've been using. And then I am going around the hollowed out spaces of your face. You're going to take a brown eyeshadow and just a very small pencil brush, and just kind of go around them and like really close to it, but still leaving a little bit of like a white gap or space. And this is going to create shadows, so everything looks like it's like bulging out more, and it's like going to look very 3D and dimensional. So it's going to look really cool. So this is just a little trick. You're just going to do this around basically any of the hollowed out parts of your face. Just make sure that like the darkest part is going to be the closest to where the actual hollowed out part is, and then you're just kind of blend it. And do not forget to do this on the other side of your face as well. Then here I'm just putting a little bit more white because I wanted that to show up a little bit more, because it had kind of faded away, and then I'm blending the edges. Then we're going to start on the nose. So once again, you guys are going to see where I messed up on this. So I am taking this, and I am just basically, these are, I call them little mountain peaks. That's what it looks like to me. You're just going to kind of create imperfect mountain peaks. One of them is bigger than the other, and this does not have to be perfect. One side I rounded it out all the way, and the other side I didn't. But as you guys can see here, as I am applying this black, because I had the white face paint underneath, it did not go on as opaque as I wanted. It mixed with the white and made a really gray, and I will show you guys what I do to fix that in a minute. But here is where I'm adding even more glitter onto basically every single part that is hollowed out and black, and it just looks amazing. And do not forget the other side once again. I just used the same glitter too. So as you guys can see, I tried to apply this on the nose, and everything at this point had just really faded on the nose, and right here I'm deciding that I didn't like the way it looked. So once again, I wiped it off with a makeup wipe. I didn't wipe off the peaks because I actually really liked the way those looked, but I wiped off anything else, like basically the round actual tip of my nose with a makeup wipe to create a clean surface, and then I put the black, and you guys can see how much darker it is applying because it's going straight on skin rather than on white. And then I put on my glitter on my nose too, which I think looks fabulous. And then I'm taking this NYX roller glitter. To be 100% honest, you guys, if I were to do this again, I probably wouldn't use this. This is when I started to realize that this face paint didn't really do well, because as I was trying to apply this roller glitter stuff, the face paint was cracking and wasn't looking that great anymore. Then I'm taking these little stars that I bought at Michael's and this Duo Lash Adhesive. This is the dark one, so it dries black. I'm going to put this on all of the hollows of just the cheeks. I'm not doing this on the eye or nose. So I'm putting that glue on there, picking up some of those dark black like gunmetal stars and placing them all over this cheekbone area and temple area. And it ends up looking honestly amazing. So I am going to do that all over the temple and cheekbone area. Once again, I didn't do it on the eyes or the nose because of the surfaces aren't as flat. I didn't think they would stay as well. And also, I didn't show this, and actually I thought I did, but for some reason I didn't record it. When I put these stars on here, because the glue is on it, it kind of took away a little bit from the glitter. So I actually did just go right over these with glitter again, and it worked perfectly. So here I'm just showing you guys how reflective and amazing they look. And then once again, we're doing this on the other side. So here I'm taking the white ones and I'm putting them on the face. Once again, probably would have either used a different white cream product or just wouldn't have done this. I love the way it looked, so probably if you're going to do this, use a white cream product, but I'm just using basically NYX or Fix Plus, anything. NYX Dewy Spray is what I used, and then just place the white ones on my face. Then taking a black gel liner, I'm just outlining anywhere where there is a separation of the face and where the cracking is going to start, and then we are just going to create little cracks so that this looks like our skull is cracking and our regular face is kind of cracking off into this amazing glam glitter skull underneath. So these do not have to be perfect. Just take a very small brush and just do some squiggly wiggly lines. Once again, you want to do lines coming off of lines and cracks coming off of cracks, and they don't have to be the same thickness. You want to have some places that are thicker, because obviously cracks, when you have something that actually cracks in real life, it doesn't crack evenly. You have spots that break a ton off and have like chunks of stuff coming off, and then you have it where it just like cracks. So you definitely want to do this. You guys will see here I'm just adding like little places that have just like chipped off, and I did this along the whole skull area, like where it's cracking in the center of the face, because you just want to make this look as realistic as possible. It needs to look jagged, and once again, this is one of those things, the more imperfect that you do this, the better, because cracks are not perfect. They break unevenly, and that's what this is supposed to be, just very uneven. And also, I really like to fade them out too. They don't have to be all the same color, and all of them don't have to be as pigmented, because once again, they're cracks and they're imperfect. So yeah, just continue doing that over the face. And then right here, I decided I wanted to add a little bit of a different highlight. I wanted something with duochrome, so I added this NYX duochrome highlighter on my cheekbones over top of that Soft and Gentle, because I mean, I thought it would amazing with this look. And of course, because that's never enough, I use that NYX like roller glitter stick, and I put that over the highlight, because this is supposed to be extra and glam and it's Halloween, so why not? And then I just continued on doing my little cracks all over my face. And I definitely added this to the black part down here where this cheekbone started, because I wanted it to look as realistic as possible. And then here, I actually took a very small brush. I mixed my glitter with my mixing medium, and I made my cracks glittery because we are not a ordinary skull. We are an amazing, glamorous, extra skull. Like, that's just the best way I can describe this. So our cracks don't crack just plain, they crack with glitter. So because we're bursting with glitter inside, that is my theory for this look. That's how I kind of came up with this look. So yeah, I am putting glitter to make my cracks glittery, and honestly, I think it looks amazing. I was so happy with this part. Oh, you don't even understand. It just takes this look to like another level. So that is basically the finishing touches of the face. I am now taking a black shadow, and I tried to do my hair. It didn't really work out, y'all. Get a wig or try this. I used black shadow to make my roots darker, and then I went out and got this spray stuff from Sally's. Didn't really work that well, but you know, we tried. But anyways, this is the final look. I hope you guys liked my very first ever Halloween tutorial, and I love you guys so much. Subscribe, click the notification button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.